Well, another episode where we discuss the 5 things we've learned from a soccer match, and that match was between Kaizer Chiefs hosting Cape Town City. Very first point we jump into is Eric Tinkler's strategy, or was it a strategy? What we know of Cape Town City and Eric Tinkler is that they enjoy, they're a ball playing team and they enjoy having more possession. And what we've seen from Kaizer Chiefs is the opposite. They will allow teams to have a big chunk of the ball, and they've appeared to be like a counter-attacking team or a team that plays on transition. So coming into this game, Tinkler decided, okay, let me give them the ball and see what they would do. And it really exposed Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, they struggle to break teams from the center, and this subjects them to play from their flanks or from their wingers. And if it was a strategy, it probably worked for Eric Tinkler, which leads me to the second point, which is the number of crosses we saw on this game were just ridiculous. The javelins that were coming from Frosler, uh, the whipping in crosses from even your Dove from the left. It was just ridiculous, which actually made a job of Chubido and Godinho quite easy. Would you blame Kaizer Chiefs for whipping in so many crosses into the box? I would not blame them because majority of their goals this season, if not 50%, they have come from crosses or they've come from headers. In particular, their best player this season by far, Castillo. Castillo, most of his goals scored them by headers, and Cupido and Godinho dealt very well with their top man, Castillo, and it really didn't work out with the number of crosses they were whipping into the box. Itukune by far is probably one of the greatest keeper we've ever had in the PSL era. Mzansi is number one. He even deserves that name. But the sooner Kaizer Chiefs and their fans move on from Intukune, the better they will build the other keepers. They have a decent keeper in Peterson, who obviously has to work on his mistake here and there. Bavuma and the young keeper from MTC. They cannot be relying on injury prone, a tiring Kune at this age. It is an open secret that this is Kune's last contract as an infield player. At least they've guaranteed something. They've guaranteed him something beyond his playing days in management and in the technical team. So they cannot be still relying or building the team around an aging Itukune. So that is basically the third point of this video. Kune, you, my brother, you just have to transfer your distribution skill to Peterson, to Bavuma, and the MDC keeper. That's one thing that's unmatched about you. Your distribution has always been excellent, and even on that game, it was we could see that Kune on distribution, it's just 101. That's one thing you see with Peterson. Peterson is uncomfortable passing the ball. He would rather use his hands for distribution. So yeah, that was the third point. The fourth point on this video is number 10 role at Kaizer Chiefs. They are struggling to break teams down from the middle. They don't have creative players. They rely more on wing play, their flanks, which even makes me wonder what's the role of Mdu Shabalala and what's the role of Mdu Mtantsane. Matlow, I think he was injured or had a knock. I'm not sure, but he was dropped in this game. And they were playing with three-man midfield of Mart, Ox, and Castillo. None of them are natural number 10s. The two, which is Mart and Castillo, are more of your box-to-box number 8 players. So Kaizer Chiefs is in need of a number 10 or is in need of more creative players. They really have to go to the market in January and look for number 10s, players who are really creative, who can break teams down, who are playing a low block, which was the case in this game. Eric Tinkler came and said the low block will allow you to have 2/3 of the field, but the last third of the field, let's see if you can break us down. And they couldn't do that from the center or the middle, and which subjected them to playing more crosses and more crosses. The last point in this episode, number 5, is Ntseki reminds me more of a Baxter, how Baxter used to play. Baxter was a counter attacking guy playing on transition, and it is no different from what Ntseki is doing. And this is, day by day frustrating the masses who love this beautiful team. And it cannot be that every good player who comes from another team, when they get to Kaizer Chiefs, all of a sudden they become poor players overnight. Ndu Datsane was a decent player. Modi, a decent player. You talk about your dollies, you talk about your billiards. Whenever they come to Chiefs, so it really then points to the fact that the technical team at Kaizer Chiefs has been poor for some time, and this season nothing is changing because coaching should improve players individually and should improve the team as a whole, and we don't see that at all. Creative players at Kaizer Chiefs, they are really struggling. They are not being given room to really express themselves, and we don't know how far will this go. Will Mulifenteki survive? Is Kevin Johnson the next man they will look to? There were rumors that Mitchell might be the next guy who might take the head coaching position. If that is the case, then Senior Mtaung, Bobby, Jessica, Junior Mtaung, they really have to change the whole technical team. Because if you're going to remove Nsegi as a head coach, then it's a problem if you leave Shepi and Tetripolwan on the technical team, because really nothing is changing and nothing is improving. If you're seeing my face for the first time and seeing this content for the first time, yes, you came to the right place. 80% of the people who come and see and watch our videos don't subscribe. So take a moment and just subscribe at the bottom there, like the video, engage me on the comments below. Tell me what you think of Kaizer Chiefs as a whole from the start of the season. Out of 27 points, 9 games played, Kaizer Chiefs have only taken 11 points. For a big team, that is extremely poor. Extremely poor. And let me hear from you. What have you taken from the 9 games Chiefs have played in the Premier Soccer League? Thank you once again. And this was Oscar Football. God bless.